Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. I think today I'd like to talk about I guess you could call it a semi-playing lesson. I went down and I saw Harold Lovett, one of my students. I went down to his club yesterday and he wanted to talk to me about something, and actually presented me with a nice little gift that you'll see on the site pretty soon. You'll know what it is when you see it, because you'll see Harold Lovett there with me. And afterwards we went out and played 9 holes like we usually do every couple months. And every couple months Harold's always got a new issue or whatever, but this time he stood up on the first tee and just busted it right down the middle, hit his second shot, busted it right up on the green. And I said, "Whoa, Harold, what's happened here?" I said, "That's the best I've seen you hit 2 shots in a row." And I mean, they were right down the middle, and best of all, his alignment was really good on both shots. And he hit a good drive on the next hole, and so on. He played pretty good. But what really became alarming was we got to about the third or fourth hole, and he had like a pitching wedge to the green, okay? And he's got a maybe a shot that the pitching wedge was pretty much just a smooth pitching wedge, would have no problem getting him to the green, and he came up like 20 or 25 yards short. And I didn't say anything the first time, and then about a hole later he had a short club again to the green, 8-iron I think that time, and it should have been more than enough club, he said, and it came up short again, about 10 or 15 yards short of the green. Never mind on the green and way short of the flag, it came up 10 or 15 short of the green. But both times he did get good pitches and he got it up and down, and he just kept saying, "Thank you, Kenny," meaning the Kenny Knox video. He says he watches that numerous times during the week. And this last weekend, when I was doing our golf schools up in Chicago with Dave Seaman, he was saying "Thank you, Kenny" a lot when he kept getting it up and down, because he said that video really changed around his short game. And I personally say the same thing for myself. I mean, I've had more chip-ins, pitch-ins, and bunker-ins from bunker shots out of the sand in the last 5 or 6 months since I shot that video with Kenny than I've had in the last 5 years. And it's really good stuff. And Harold was doing it to the nth degree, except for one thing. After like the second or third time I noticed, I said, "Harold, you're not really swinging at the ball." He said, "Well, I'm swinging full." I said, "How hard are you hitting this shot? What are they?" And he said, I'm hitting it full." I said, "Well, you're certainly not making a full swing." And what he was doing was this. He was standing here, and he'd take his setup. He had a really good setup. I'd check the alignment out. Everything was good. But if he'd take a practice swing, but then when he would hit it, he'd only swing it and stop it off like right there. And because he was stopping it there, the swing didn't have the acceleration that it had on the previous swing, practice swings. And I watched that 2 or 3 times, and I said, "Harold, no wonder you're not getting the ball there. It's like you're hitting knockdown shots where you're pulling up short and you finish. And obviously to stop there, you started slowing back here, slowing down even probably before impact, and therefore that's why you're coming up 20, 25 yards short. You're only hitting basically 3/4 of a golf swing in terms of power because of cutting the swing short." And so at this point, when he did that this time, when I finally explained it to him, he dropped another ball down here, and I said, "All right, let me see a full swing, just like you do on a full shot. I mean, if it's a full pitching wedge or even a full sandwich to a green, if it's full, you should be going to your full finish, recoil, and relaxing, not getting in here and cutting the swing short." All right, because his cut short was also slowing down and was much slower than his full swing. He stood there and just took that little good practice swing. I made him do it once. I made him do it twice. I made him do it a third time. I said, "You feel that? Okay, set up and make that swing. You feel it now, swing the feel." And he stood there with the new golf ball, and aim it to the green, and just makes that full swing like that to the finish, recoil and relax, and guess what? Flew it right to the middle of the green, which is now like 25 yards minimum farther than what his previous shot was, that we could see sitting there at least 10 yards short of the green. So if you're going to hit it and you hit it a full shot, you need to swing and hit it full, and you need to make sure you maintain your acceleration. And those are 2 critical issues. And I think when we get down to the shorter clubs, we can forget about that, because we're thinking, "Oh, this is accuracy. I need to get it close to everyone else." Well, accuracy still demands full power if it's a full power shot that you're needed with the club you're using. And so you got to swing full. You got to swing. You got to create that power. and you got to go, and you have to go to your tee finish on full shots. And if you're not really hitting the ball as long as you'd like, you might check that out, because I see even a lot of people doing that with the driver. Okay, and that's a critical thing. Full swings need to be full swings, which means you make your backswing over the toe line and you swing up to where your right hand is close to the air, recoil and relax at the target. But it requires a full finish. None of this cutting it off short stuff. There's a shot for that. That's a knockdown. That's usually when you take more club because you want to keep the ball low. Say you're into the wind or whatever. All right? But if you want a full shot, swing to a full finish. I guess we can call that our mantra for today. Full shots require full finishes. Recoil and relax, square to the target. And then you start hitting it your real full distance that you get with each of your clubs, which is what you have to know, that what your distances are. So when you get the distance, you know what club to use, and you know it needs to be a full swing. All right? Well, that's it for the Surge for today. And I'll be talking to y'all again soon.